Hey, Wyatt, man, how you doing today, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for talking, dude. Congrats on being a part of the show. It's fun to watch you. I do want to start with a fun question for you because I'm a huge fan of your work. Overlord, everybody wants them. You've been in a lot of projects that I really enjoy watching. And then you play this character who now people who might share that love of you that I have, they hate the character, man.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to. What is that like? Do they prepare you for that?
Yeah, man, it's kind of part of the character, and it was part of the draw. Was being able to play someone like that and try and do it convincingly. But it was fun to be able to be set up as that character. Normally, everyone's always trying to make you likable or more vulnerable or whatever it is, and this was a different thing for me to be able to do, and I kind of had a blast doing it,
Dude, I mean, you're doing such a good job with the role, and it is fun to watch, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I do want to let you know the fans have asked me to send their apologies to anything you might have gotten because we do love you. We love Wyatt.
I've got anything is good. Any reaction I'll take.
Oh yeah. Well, I am curious because the first episode we see John talks about he hasn't met Steve Rogers, but he feels as though he knows him and they have so much in common. Have you met Chris Evans or had any conversations about passing the Cap baton in any way?
No, I've never met him or never talked to him. He does not feel like my brother. But I've heard great things about him. And I know he's a very nice person and is doing lots of great things with the career that he made with his Captain America character. And now he's off doing bigger and better things, So I think it's pretty cool being able to step into the Marvel universe as a new person and taking on whatever that ends up being is sort of up to you guys. That's kind of what's fun about the Marvel universe. It's really up to the fans. It's not up to me. I'm just here to be a Marvel punching bag for now.
Yeah, John's comic stories are rich, man. I would love to see some more of that stuff unfold. As the evolution of the relationship with John, as Cap continues to grow, but also the relationship with Sam and Bucky. I don't know. I feel like there might be some de-evolution to his role as Cap. I mean, can you say anything about what that's going to look like? The growth between you as Cap with Sam and Bucky versus you as Cap as John Walker.
Well, that's unfortunately not too much because that's sort of where the story ends up going and how the story arc ends up taking him is an interesting one that I can't obviously share with you. But I can say it is, in my opinion, it was very interesting. It was very interesting to play. And when you're playing it with Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, it's pretty easy because they're both fantastic actors and great people. So that's my way of evading that question.
That's fair, man. Well, I got to say, you look like a badass throwing that shield, dude. So congrats on that.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for the time, dude. I can't wait to watch more episodes, see what they have in store for us.
Thanks so much, man.
Hey, Erin, how are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm loving this show. Congratulations on being such a cool part of it.
Thank you. It's been a wild time, but I'm loving it.
I can imagine. And so, I mean, what a cool few years you're having. Like, this is awesome. First, you joined the Star Wars world. Now you're in the Marvel universe. I just want to start there. Really kind of what the experience like? How do these two worlds compare from the actor standpoint? How do joining these worlds? How is the experience compared for you?
They're actually very similar in the way that I feel about them. So like they're one of the two biggest franchises there is, and to be part of both of them is a very weird and surreal feeling. I feel very lucky. It doesn't feel quite real yet. I don't know when that's going to sink in, but yeah, it's been incredible.
That's all. Well, congratulations. You're doing a great job. You deserve it. You're playing Carly Morgenthau in The Falcon and Winter Soldier, who seems to be inspired by Carl Morgenthau, the Flag Smasher, who is an individual, not a group in comics. So I'm curious, did you do any kind of comic prep? Have you found parallels between your character and this character from the books?
There's definitely parallels there. I feel like I did a bit of research. I didn't read the comics, but I researched Carl himself.
Okay.
And yeah, there's definitely similarities. But I also do feel like the way that Carly's written now is is different, and I think people are going to enjoy, hopefully, the way that she goes and the rest of her journey.
Yeah, I do love how the MCU tends to take these inspirations from the books and then put their unique spin on it and relate it to things that our world is going through. That's really cool stuff to see.
Yeah, definitely.
So Carly thrived during the blip in the MCU, which Thanos maybe had a point there. I don't know, but I would love to hear from you. How much have you explored her life during that time where 50% of the universe has disappeared, whether it's just conversations with Kari, your director, Malcolm, the writer, or stuff you get to shoot that we get to see coming up?
I was actually very lucky that I got to speak to Kari and Zoe as well. Both of them made me feel like we had time to talk things through and talk about my character and her backstory quite a bit, which is obviously so helpful, as well as having the scripts as well, which is very helpful. And I feel like Carly felt like people were more unified when there was half of everybody had gone, that people came together because they needed to, and they were obviously going through a lot of trauma, so people kind of stuck together a little bit more, and there was a lot more unity there, and I think that's what she's trying to get back to.
I feel like based on what I've seen from Carly so far, there is a chance she ends up becoming maybe not a full hero or somebody who we root for necessarily, but I think there's a chance this character becomes very sympathetic from the audience perspective, and we end up kind of liking her by the end of it. I mean, and maybe being somebody we root for. You think there's a chance that happens?
I mean, I hope so. I hope that people understand her. So I guess if you're understanding someone, then you may be rooting for them. There's a lot of layers to Carly, and I think it's not so simple as being black and white. She's this middle section,
Yeah, you're doing a great job bringing that, making us sympathize with this character who, in this early part, maybe seems to be framed as a villain. But I'm thinking maybe there's a chance for her still. But also the looming thread that Carly seems to be maybe running from or trying to either find a solution for is this power broker character who just seems to be chasing her down, hunting her in the Flag Smashers down. What can you tease about what's coming up about this relationship to this power broker character?
You're just gonna have to watch it.
Fair enough. Well, then I'll end it with this. Who doesn't shut up on set? Anthony Mackie or Sebastian Stan?
Anthony Mackie, hands down, he doesn't shut up. He's always joking around, and I can't have anything serious. Like, he'll be joking around 1 second, and then they'll yell action, and he's in it, and he's straight away fine. And I'm like, you just had me cracking up for the last 10 minutes. How do you think I'm going to be in it now? But it was a lot of fun, though.
I love it. Well, I can't wait to see more of you in this role. Congratulations, and thank you so much for taking the time. Hi, Amy. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Brandon?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk. This must be such a fun day for you.
It's kind of crazy.
Like to finally be able to say anything about the show, I
know. Well, I can say everything I know about the show because I know as much as you do.
Well, there it is.
I know.
It's been fun to see you there. And I just want to start because you're playing a therapist here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I imagine in the MCU, the post-blip world, business might be booming for a therapist. So if you could sit across from any Marvel character and pick their brain, other than the Winter Soldier, who do you think would be the most fun to get to know in this fashion?
Oh my God. Well, I think I don't know that many of the Marvel universe, but frankly, right now in this moment in time, I think I'd really like to work on the new Captain America, because he's got a lot of things that he's working on. I mean, he's got a lot of issues, and I know him, so I know him background, so I can call him on because we serve together. So I think it would be really interesting to get down to what's going on in his brain, because he's obviously very conflicted about this.
It seems like he's got some stuff to work out. He's got a bit of a complex going. Yeah,
a little bit. Or anybody from Wakanda, I would also do that.
There's some very interesting stories to be told from that part of the world. So you've done scenes with Sebastian alone, and then you have a scene with Anthony and Sebastian together. And I've been hearing Anthony brings quite a bit of energy to the set. So I would love to hear, how does the energy change when it goes from this kind of intimate examination of PTSD to kind of the forcing the bromance upon these two in that room?
It is. Well, from the minute Anthony walks in, because it's like, boom, even before we're doing the lines, he is just like this force of joy and energy and enthusiasm. And Sebastian's fantastic, but of course his character is so in this thing, and a very different personality. So of course everything gets boom, we go into overdrive. And I watching them do when they actually did start acting, with the, when I'm bringing them together for the gazing, it was, I didn't know, I just sat and just interjected when it seemed appropriate, because it could have gone on for an hour.
How scripted is that stuff? Do you guys get to just kind of, is there like a whole blooper reel of footage that we might like, that you guys didn't even make the cut? Like, do you guys get to improv on that stuff?
Well, I think that those guys improv. When you're just coming in as a guest star, you don't do too much improv unless you're exactly asked to do that. And I had to do some of that when they were together in the couples therapy, because they were just riffing and there was nothing on the page that was going to get there. I mean, they made sure the important lines were there, obviously, and did them beautifully. But Carrie Scotland, the director, let them do their thing as well. Sure. And then it was just the three of us sort of improving, at what point do I have to actually intercede and say, oh, no,